They're coming in shortly. We have enough space for them, okay? But tutawakaribisha the halfway, yeah? So what should we be doing as our guests come through? Which number do you want? So that DJ can prepare. Hey, comrades, nini wa super. Siku juana. Sasa, which song can we clap as it plays and we stand up and sing? Yeah. No. Sio dia nasema maida hawa tawe. Maida tawe. Let's quickly agree which song can we, so that we look for it. If we don't have it on the playlist. Huh? Yeah? Atienda nasi. That is for the champions. All the champions, you can sing it. Yes. They're just about to come. We want them to come into a warm room, okay? They should get into our warm hands. The calf is fine. Oh yes, yes. Which one? Gani? Ausemi na sauti gani hiyo? Eh? Nani? Eh? Somebody say? Nani? Ati kijito? Wanini weka jioni? Yeah. Put the wanini. those who know the Wandindi, you sing it, and we shall be clapping. They should enter into our warm Kafu hands. Are we together? So you don't just stand at the radio peke, just clap and sing Wandindi. Whoever can, feel free, right? We are good to go. Yeah, kaeni. Now wapenda tu bure.
Saja Vice Chancellor, His Excellency the Governor of Ika County, our area MP, Dr. Timothy, all members and all guests, you are most welcome to the Most Friends University. I would like to request that we take our national anthem, and then thereafter I would request that we all remain standing for a word of prayer. National anthem, please.
Be ready for slow mark time. Mark time.
Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus Christ, we celebrate before you as Keynote Friends University College, for this is the great day that you have made for us. Be glad and rejoice in it. We thank you for journey mercies that you have granted our chief guest, Honorable NDINDI, His Excellency the Governor of Tichelo, LMP, Honorable Charles Mosi, the Chairperson of the University Council, Dr. Benedict Mungai, and other invited guests. We continue, Lord, to thank you for Kafu's administration, under the leadership of Professor Jack Nandi, University Management, Senate, lecturers, staff, and students gathered here, that in one accord you bind us with cause that cannot be broken. We have financial needs as an institution, and we believe with the right partnership with government and our President, His Excellency Dr. William Samuel Ruto, we shall have a breakthrough. Genesis 18, verse 14 says, "Is there anything too hard for the Lord to do?" We pray as we go through today's program that you guide our speakers as they handle the theme, Kenyan government response to external shocks. We pray this in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. All people say, Amen. May be seated.
Our chief guest, NYORO, all protocols observed. Good afternoon. My name is Professor Julius Kenboy, acting ABC Academic and Student Affairs. For the next couple of minutes, I'll be at your service as the master of ceremony. Our chief guest, I want to take this opportunity to once again welcome you to Keynote Friends University, be at home, and all our guests. Because of time, we'll try to fast track the program so that we can redeem time. I would like to now take this opportunity to welcome our Vice Chancellor, Professor Jack Nandi, to recognize the guests present and make his remarks. Professor Jack Nandi.
Our chief guest, Honorable NYORO, the Governor of Vihiga County, Dr. Ichiro, our area member of Parliament, Dr. Charles Mose, the Deputy Governor, who is here with us, Tiezo, the CECs from the county government, the area DCC who is here, all the visitors who have come here, whom I may not be able to recognize. I may not be able to recognize you by names, but you are all welcome. All the colleagues and other guests invited, members of staff, members of management and Senate, and very, very important people here, the members of staff and the students of this university, Keynote Friends University. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I want to be very brief. I want to start, first of all, I want to thank the chief guest for finding time to be with me here today. I want to thank him very much because I met him last month in Nairobi. He was addressing all the accounting officers of state corporations in Kenya. There are about 375 state corporations in Kenya. He was addressing them on matters of budget. We were there, all of us, all the vice chancellors of the universities were there, and he gave a wonderful speech on matters finance. I was personally touched, and I took a bold step. I went to him, and I approached him. I requested him to come and talk to my students, because the way he talked, I thought that was not only meant for the CEOs, but it was going to be good for our university. He gave me his number. We began talking. For some time, he was supposed to be here on 31st, but because of commitment of this office, you are aware he is the chair of the budget committee in the whole of this country. So he was very busy in Mombasa. But we kept on talking until we agreed on today. So those of us who are here, some of you may not have been invited. It's because he was confirming on Saturday. He's very busy, so he was confirming on Saturday. So there might have been a very short notice. If you are here, don't feel that we never gave you enough time, because it's very difficult sometimes to book an appointment or to commit yourself when you are dealing with people who are holding very serious responsibilities in this country. So when you confirm, that's when I was trying to call some of you to be here. And I want to thank all of you, especially the Governor, His Excellency, Dr. Tichiro. I talked to him just the other day, yesterday, and the area member of Parliament. It was a very short notice. We respect you so much, we respect your offices, but it was a very short notice. You may be surprised why we call you in advance. The notice was very short. But thank you for finding time to be here today. I want to be very brief, because we know he's supposed to be traveling back. I want to recognize the Governor of this county, Your Excellency, Wilbur Tichiro, and I want you, in that order, before I give a speech. You are very important people. Carrefour, we believe in working together. We are partners with the county, we are partners with the national government. I want you to greet your people. And also allow the area member of Parliament, who is also my friend, who has worked with the Carrefour from the time I came here in 2014, to also greet. And then thereafter, I'll give a brief highlight. Then I'll allow my chair to give a brief highlight. And then after that, I'll come to introduce our chief guest, Honorable NDINDI, to come forward and talk to us. Your Excellency, the Governor. Can you clap for the Governor? Yeah, so I've been advised accordingly. Thank you very much for that advice. I want to invite the area member of Parliament, Dr. Charles Gimosi, to give a brief remark. Those are not enough claps for the next one.
Thank you, Professor. Mheshimiwa, ndugu yetu, rafiki yetu, Ndindi Nyoro, he does not have a Christian name. It's called Ndindi Nyoro. And thank you for coming today. Thank you for accepting the invitation to be here with us and to teach us, to talk to us about, what is the name of this topic? Kenya government response to external shocks. The topic is quite extensive and wide, but it is within your ambit to guide us on the extent and limits of that extent of external shocks. My name is Charles Gimosi. For the time being, I'm currently member of Parliament for Hamisi. But you gave me a good job. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And say kudos to those who voted for me. And those who didn't vote for me, I still say welcome. You will vote for me as Governor 2027. I am a scholar too. I was at the University of Nairobi many years ago. In 1980, I joined as a first year at the University of Nairobi, where I studied law. And thereafter I went to Howard University, where I did my master's degree. Then I went to Strayer University in the United States of America. And then I went to Johns Hopkins School of International Studies. So I'm very learned. Karibu, Mheshimiwa. But that aside, this university, we are going through stress. Mheshimiwa Ndindi, wakati university ilianza, hizo vitabu zinaanza kutitimia kwa sababu and I want to say karibu. I want to say very explicitly and candidly that the University Council of this university and the professors and lecturers of this university have done well. We started with about 300 and something students, do you remember that? And the population has grown extensively to 3,000 students, 4,000 students. I want to ask people who want to go forward and read to come to this university. It is a wonderful university. It has grown very fast. And Mr. Vice Chancellor, tulifanya kazi na wewe. Kama iko kitu ya kukula hata mimi nataka kula hiyo kitu. I actually have done my best. I have assisted in the allocation or relocation of the Teachers College, and I have assisted in a number of ways. But the Bible says, he who exalts himself is not a Christian. So I don't want to exalt myself to the extent that to appear as if I'm the one who has done everything. But I've done my best. The students, we used to call ourselves comrades those days. I don't know what you call yourself these days. Still comrades. I was a student leader also with the Lugosi. And I went to jail for being a student leader. Do not go to jail. Do not go into activism when you are a student, because it will not help you. It will take away your time. It will took me a lot of time. When His Excellency, the President, who is dead now, Holy Moly, took me to prison for 6 months. When you try to overturn the government, you actually overturn the government. So, the students of this college, I wish you well. I'm with you. I'll work with you. And I'll come at my own time also to give a lecture. And eat ugali with you. There's something called eating ugali here. When I did in NYORO, we want to ask you, I want to ask you on behalf of this constituency. You are the chairman of our budget committee. You are very powerful. Extremely powerful. This is the government. Ukiona hapa, amekuja hapa, he has the full blessings of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya. And he's a learned man. His Excellency, the President, William Samuel Chirichiri Ruto, PhD, Plant Ecology. He has told him to say something, and I'm sure he has not spoken to me about that. But please, Nakuomba, try and go beyond the right of your jurisdiction as a budget, or get the right of your jurisdiction as a budget chairman. Ile enga yote ya budget committee, sukumia hawa watu kitu kidogo. When you are there, when you are taking a cup of tea in the lounge, I'll keep on reminding you, do you remember Kaimosi? We are actually the largest constituency in the Vihiga County, all the way from Kisumu to Kapsabet. If you walk on foot, you take 3 days to finish. Please, the sense of today's meeting is to listen to you and also ask you to support this university. Comrades, power. Power. Power, comrades. Power. But don't exercise power now. Nichukue nafasi hii. Can I identify a few people? I don't know if I've been taking too long. If I identify a few people. We have MCAs here. Members of the County Assembly of Vihiga. His name is Bob Mwashi, the MCA for this area. Uramuda is the MCA for Semahogo, Muiga. And na mimi ndio mheshimiwa ya hapa. Tupigie makofi. Mungu ambariki. Semeni haleluya. Bwana asifiwe. Tuonane siku nyingine. Tukae pamoja. Governor, don't take it much from the time.
Our chief guest, Honorable NDINDI, the chair of the council of the university, the acting vice chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I want to start by welcoming our chief guest to Vihiga. I want to say karibu sana Vihiga. We are very proud of you and we are happy that you have come. As a governor of this county, we are very proud of this university. And when I was informed yesterday that you are coming, I said that I'll put aside all my engagement today to come and be with you. And the onset, I want to say, this is a university that has a lot of bright future. And it's a university that has a lot to offer in this part of the country. And therefore, as a county, we are committed to support this university in all possible ways that we will afford. And therefore, we want to work very closely with the national government to ensure that this university grows very fast. Therefore, our partnership with the national government is very important. And we would like to have a partnership that will move this university to great heights. We have a very serious council. We have an acting vice chancellor and the professors and the students who are very committed to see this university move to the next level. So we would like to move and work with the government. As the chair of the budget in the parliament, you are a very important person, and I want to agree with Dr. Kimose. You are indeed very important when it comes to the budget making process in this country. we are very hopeful that when you are making the budget for 2023-2024, you find time at least to have a budget line for this university so that we can move as fast as we can. We have seen the library is under construction, and it's very important that this library must be completed as soon as possible. And therefore, budgetary provision will be very essential. I believe the area MP and the MPs from this county will all work together, because I know budget making process. You will be chairing, but they have to start the process from Treasury all the way to Parliament. So I'm happy my member of Parliament has just arrived, Mboko Milemba, karibu sana. So we have our 2 members of Parliament here, and those that are not here, you need to work together to push a budget provision for this university in the next coming budget that is under preparation. I'm sure my friend here, once it is already provided for in the budget statement, then it will be easier for him to help us. So the challenge still starts with our area members of Parliament, and of course through the Treasury. I will not go further than what I've said, but I want to say we are very proud of this university, and we want to support the university to move and grow as fast as possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, and I want to recognize the presence of Dr. Mboko Milemba, who is the area of Parliament. I would like to request the VC to recognize the arrival of Honorable.
Members, His Excellency the Governor has just spoken. Can we give him a round of applause? I have not had a round of applause from our students. Our students, I want to hear a round of applause from our students. For the visitors. Thank you very much. All these visitors are not there for the members of staff or for me. They are there for the students and for the future of this nation. So thank you very much. I want to, they have recognized the arrival of a member of Parliament, Mboko Milemba. I want to twist the protocol a bit, if you can allow me, so that he can be able to come and greet you. You need to hear his voice before we proceed. Mheshimiwa Mboko Milemba. Can you welcome him, please?
Thank you so much, Professor Nandi. My name is Mboko Milemba. I'm the Member of Parliament for Emuhaya. Chief guest, who is the Chair of the Budget Committee, and my friend NDINDI. This is our county. And when I heard that you will be here for one purpose, that we petition you to support this university, to get funding, something that Professor Nandi has always spoken to me about, even when I was in the Education Committee, when I chair. I said, let me just come, present my presence, and I'm lucky to get a voice to input that is what we wish for this university. And this is our only university standing in our county. Governor, I think, and therefore, you are having arrived here. No, I'm sure we have the right track. We as members of Parliament, led by Hon Kimose, who is the MP for this place and our senior, is the senior most member of Parliament currently in Vihiga County. We shall continuously speak to you in low voices, moderate voices, and the other forms of ways that we can reach to you so that our university is funded. I don't have to go any further than that. The governor has spoken. He is a great educationist and planner. Please, Chair, fund Kalimosi. You'll have funded Vihiga. You'll have funded our people. You'll have made us proud. Comrade power. Thank you so much. God bless.
Sorry, I forgot to recognize my officers whom I came with. My deputy governor, my CEC in charge of education, my chief of staff, and I have the CEC in charge of administration.
Yes, another round of applause for all our Yes, thank you very much. We have our members of National Security that are here. DCC is here together with this team. DCC is there. Dr. Papa is there. And with all other members, the security team is here. You have seen them. They are together to ensure that we are secure and we are feeling secure in this place. Now, I want to be very brief. I want to take this opportunity to welcome my new-found friend, Dr. NDINDI, and promise him that we shall keep our friendship forever and forever. Can you clap for us? Yes, and I want to promise you that we are here. Our motto is the spring of knowledge. And what is our mission? To be a center of what? Excellence in teaching, innovation, and research. And what is our vision? To provide quality education. And do what? What else? Training, research, innovation. For what? Very good. So that is our motto, our vision, and our mission. We want to welcome you to Kaimosi University. Those of you who are coming here for the first time and for the sake of you, we want to let you know that this university has moved from our campus in 2014 to a full-fledged university on 2nd of August 2022. It was a campus. So we have gone through that transition. So we are proud of that. It has also been already mentioned that this university has moved in terms of enrollment. We began with about 400 students. Most of them went back to our mother university. And now we are talking of 3,915 plus others who are doing other programs, certificate and diploma. So we are over 4,000 students. That means our enrollment has grown extremely fast. In terms of schools, we began with 2 schools. But now we are talking of 5 schools. And for those of you who are aware, we also began with only 16 programs in 2014. We began with only 16 programs in 2014. But now we have 51 programs. In 2014, we began with only 7 members of staff. And today, we are talking of 209 members of staff. We have been slow on bringing more members of staff because of finances. If we had moved a little bit faster, we'd be running in problems, in trouble, that is now affecting other universities out there. There are universities that are now not able even to pay salary. So we have moved slowly because of finances. We began with 7, and now we are at 209. And that's the best way to go. If you move faster, then you end up waking up in the morning, you are not able to pay salary. This university also, in terms of growth, we have had issues that are very relevant as far as matters finance are concerned. Like this year, which is very important for our guests to know, that our recurrent budget was 1.1 billion. And our capital development project budget was 1.2 billion. How much money were we allocated in this financial year? We were allocated 624 million for the current budget. So we have a deficit of 500 million. We have a deficit of 500 million. Now, in terms of capital development, our budget was 1.2 billion. We have been allocated this year 134 million. Therefore, we have a deficit of 1.1 billion. And that's what we have put in our supplementary budget, and that's what we shall be talking to the chair of Budget Committee, our dear friend, NDINDI, as he leaves this place. That's our prayer, that's what we are going to give him. With that deficit, we shall not be able to move forward. We shall not be able to hire staff for our new programs. And we have new programs. Our niche area, niche area is medical. As young as we are, I want to let you know that we now have a department of nursing. They are now doing their second year. We have a department of clinical medicine, and we also have a department of optometry and vision sciences. Those are the departments that form the School of Health Sciences. And if you are aware, the Kenyan manifesto is very clear on 4 areas of concern. The areas are equity, quality, access, and relevance. So we want to make sure that the programs we are offering here provide an avenue for equity and quality and access and are relevant, because there are so many programs out there which other universities are offering, and there are many cases of students who have graduated but they are unemployed. We are looking at those issues. We shall be moving with the schools that I've mentioned, but we shall also focus on the niche area, and that niche area is the medical sciences, the health sciences. We want to become a center of excellence in health sciences as we move along with other courses, so that we can move up together with this county government, have a referral hospital, and become more relevant to as far as this county and this nation is concerned. And so we need the current budget. With that deficit of 500 million, we will not be able to hire the personnel. We are going to continue relying on part-time lecturers. Our chief guest, this university has registered a number of milestones. As we have said, we got a charter on the 2nd of August 2022. That was a milestone. It was a great milestone for us to get that charter. And our chief guest, after that milestone of the charter, we went ahead and we had our first graduation on 21st of December 2022. The first graduation ever in this county, witnessed all over, and graced by none other than the Prime Cabinet Secretary, who is from this land, His Excellency Musalia Mudavadi. Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi. Dr. Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi. So that was a first, that was a milestone, a graduation coming in less than 6 months. You cannot have a charter in August, 2nd of August, and then on 21st, you already having a graduation, and the graduation goes through. And then we give you another milestone that came with that graduation. We were able to give out certificates to the students a week after graduation, and all of them have got it. I've been talking to people in other universities, including universities where we have our own children and they have graduated. They are waiting for degree certificates in March. For us, we gave our students certificates. And one of them is here, Callistus, MCA Mudu. He can stand here. Callistus, former MCA. The former MCA Mudu was one of our students. He got his master's degree, and I can tell you that because of the certificate I signed, he has now got a job. Can you clap for him? So every time you deny a student a certificate, you are denying that student what? Employment opportunity. CAFU will never do that. This university has other milestones. We have now put in place structures. We have now put in place structures for ISO certification. And we are almost getting there. We've done so well. We have students here who are champions. They have now taken over the pedagogy. And so lecturers don't miss classes. This is going to be the only university in this country where there will be nothing like missing marks. That's a milestone. This is a university where we have had prudent financial management. How do you know that there's prudent financial management? We have had audit reports from the time we began. All our audit reports, because if you want to know if something is wrong with an institution, look at the audit reports. The audit reports of this university, right from the inception, all of them have qualified reports. That shows that we have emphasized, we have always had prudent financial management. As we walked around our chief guest, this is also the only university that does not have a stalled project. Go to other universities, you'll find projects have been done and they are just about halfway. And they have been like that for the last 10 years. In the CAFU, we don't have any stalled project. All our projects have been completed. So as mentioned, there are two ongoing projects. There's one project, the Ultra Modern Library, and another project, the perimeter wall. Because we don't have a wall. The church gave us land, and we recognized the church for that purpose, but we need a perimeter wall for the purpose of security. So we have begun the perimeter wall. It will be done in phases. As you are aware, we have 204 acres. So we need to have a perimeter wall around the 204 acres. But we shall do it in phases. So we need your support for the perimeter wall, and we also need our support to enable us complete the ultra modern library for this university. I also want to let you know that in this university we have mainstreamed ICT in the teaching. In Odell. So some of the programs, some of the courses, like the common courses, we are now teaching them online. And that's the future, that's where the future is. That's what we are going to do as far as this university is concerned. Because we may not be able to have lecturers. We may not be able to hire lecturers. And we are not going to rely on part-time lecturers forever. So we have embraced technology. And as you are aware, this is one of the manifesto of the Kenyan Kwanza government. Digital super highway. And we want to work very closely with the Kenyan government to ensure that we have that going on in this university. I also want to perhaps also share that this is one of the few universities in this country that don't have any pending bills. We don't have the pending bills. what I'm telling you, it's news. We don't have pending bills. And we are hoping, we have called you here so that you don't let us get into that war of pending bills. You help us so that we can be able to have enough money to complete the ultra modern library, to complete the perimeter wall, so that we don't end up on the list of universities that have pending bills. I can also assure you that this is the only university where we pay our salaries the last week, before the last week of the month. Every month we pay salaries. And I can go on and go on, but I want to mention one point, which is very important. That in terms of performance contract, because most of you don't know the story of CAF. Many people don't talk about CAF. Don't know the story of CAF. Come here and find out about CAF. And you'll know about the enrollment. We've done so well, and we want to market this university because it's doing so well. In terms of performance contract, this university was ranked number 8 out of 35 in all the universities in Kenya. And in terms of state corporations in this country, this university, in all the state corporations in the country, this university has been ranked number 18 out of 375 state corporations. That's the brief story I wanted to give to our best friend and our chief guest. So I wish to stop there. The list is long. We've done well. Market this university. The county government has supported us so well. Thank you very much, Your Excellency the Governor, for being there and for working with us. We are going to ensure that we work together. All the issues we have discussed, including the climate change, we have made a lot of progress. The other member of Parliament, I want to assure you and I want to thank you for the support that you gave me. I literally used to come to Parliament for lunch when we were looking for this university. I used to come there. I never even used to have money. But I would come there and you provide me with the lunch, you provide me with the pocket money, because I sacrificed for this university. I recognize you. Thank you very much for being there. Because some of you don't know that I used to go without lunch. And I never used to go without any per diem. I was here. The only thing I had was a vehicle and a driver. You don't know what I went through to bring this university to where it is. And he knows very well. He even used to give us money for accommodation. The member of Parliament. So we want to thank you very much for that sacrifice. Everything that you have done, thank you very much. I want to take this opportunity to invite. I want to take this opportunity to invite our chair of the council, who will make a brief remark, just a few minutes. And then thereafter, I'll come back to read the profile of our chief guest. You don't know who he is. And I know students, you are waiting. This is the time that the Lord has done what? Has made. So that you can begin asking yourselves, can I be like NDINDI NYORO? You'll be shocked. And that's why I brought him here, so that he becomes your role model. So I'll do that after my boss, the chair. And Madam Chair, thank you very much for laying a strong foundation for this university. Because of your experience as a consultant with the World Bank and all other duties, you have supported me, and we have worked diligently for this university. This is a great chair. Can we applaud our chair?
Brief as possible. Our chief guest, Honorable NDINDI NYORO, CBS, Member of Parliament, Kiharu constituency, and Chairman of the Budget and Appropriations Committee in the National Assembly of Kenya. The Governor of Vihiga County, His Excellency Dr. Wilban Otichilo, the area MP, Honorable Charles Gimose, Honorable Ombako Milemba, MCAs present, KAFU Acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Nandi, Acting Deputy Vice Chancellors, members of the University Management Board and Senate, other invited guests, faculty, staff, and students. Our guest speaker, Honorable NDINDI, on behalf of the Council, Management, staff, students, and alumni of Kaimosi Friends University, let me first welcome you to our institution, KAFU, and thank you for honoring our invitation. It was a short notice, but we are glad that you made it today. And more importantly, agreeing to give us a public lecture on a topic that is very relevant to all of us, the government's response to external shocks. Sir, the subject of external economic shocks and their impact on the functioning of our university is of utmost importance, and I'm proud to say that KAFU has taken preemptive measures to prepare for much of the repercussions of the unpredictable environment that we are working in today. Chief guest, our financial management practices, as Professor has said, he's elaborated on that, are in place, and we are pursuing other additional revenue streams, as well as occasional austerity measures as part of our efforts to proactively anticipate and react to the resulting effects of the fluctuating economic situation. I think Professor has elaborated on that. Our chief guest, as chairperson of the University Council, I've had the privilege of overseeing the initiation and completion of the university's capital development projects, guided by our 50-year master plan. We've just toured some of the projects that we put in place, so you have an idea of what we are talking about. Sir, these initiatives, along with our growing enrollment, you've had our student number currently stands at 3,900 and something, almost 4,000 students, are market-driven. We are focusing and specializing in the health sciences, demonstrate the foundation that KAFU was established as a center for excellence. I would also like to report that we have not only done the best to implement these projects prudently, to get the best in terms of value for public money, but more importantly, we have not stalled any projects at the moment. We've seen that for ourselves too. Our projects are completed. There are 2 ongoing projects. Sir, one of the youngest universities, and to fully realize our vision and mission, we need the support of the government in terms of budgetary allocation. Professor spelled out our amounts. I don't have the figures offhand, but he's articulated that. That will enable us to build a stronger foundation in terms of research, invest in the requisite infrastructure to attract more students, strengthen and diversify our revenue streams, and create a thriving environment for our community. This university sits in Vihiga County, so it's not just the institution as a university that we are looking at. Economic growth also filters to everybody around you. Reflecting back to today's public lecture, entitled Kenyan Government Response to External Sources, it is my hope that this public lecture will shed light on the government strategy to ensure academic institutions such as ours are supported to continue delivering on our mandate and provide valuable insights into the decision-making process and the role of different government agencies in responding to such events. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Honorable NDINDI for joining us today and for his dedication to promoting open dialogue on this critical subject. I trust that this is the beginning of a long-term engagement with you so that we can continue sharing your real experiences on economic matters with our students and staff from time to time. With your permission, sir, we could consider this the first of a series of annual public lectures to come at KAFU by you, Mheshimiwa. In conclusion, I'm proud to be part of the KAFU community and confident in our ability to continue to grow and excel as a world-class spring of knowledge. Thank you.
An applause for the chair. Yes, you know, those of you who don't know, she's our boss. She's the employer. In the university, the boss is the council. So the chair of the council is my boss, is our boss. So can you give our boss an applause once more? So thank you very much. And we are lucky, you know, she's never told you, but she has a PhD in entrepreneurship. She was at USIU, so she's somebody who's very knowledgeable. That's why she works for World Bank. And so you'll be sharing a lot about her. Now I want to introduce my newfound friend and our chief guest, NDINDI. Students, wherever you are, I want you to listen, to pay attention 100% before he comes forward. Pay attention. Tomorrow it will be you. You never know. Being celebrated the way KAFU today is celebrating NDINDI. Profile of Honorable NDINDI, CBS. Honorable NDINDI is a highly accomplished politician. You know, he's a member of parliament for Kiharu. And you remember Kiharu? That's where we had a famous presidential candidate called who? Kenyan Matiba. So he's putting on the shoes. He's in the shoes of people like that, those kind of giants. So he's a highly accomplished politician, economist, and entrepreneur. Currently, he's serving his second term as the member of parliament for Kiharu constituency. So he's serving his second term as a member of parliament for Kiharu constituency. He is a graduate of Kenyatta University with a Bachelor of Arts in Economics and has a background in student leadership. So he's going to share with you his background as a student leader. NDINDI has earned a reputation as one of the best performing members of parliament in Kenya, having authored the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Amendment Bill 2019. He is, I don't want you to clap, I'll tell you when to clap. I want you to listen, because this is very important information. Thank you very much. He is currently the chairman of the Budget and Appropriation Committee in the National Assembly of the Republic of Kenya, and has been recognized for his outstanding development record in the concerned constituency, receiving an honor of the Chief of the Burning Spear, CBS, from the President, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, on Kenya's 59th Jamhuri Day. In addition to his political career, NDINDI is a successful entrepreneur with interest in stock broking, financial services, IT, governance, communication, among others, which means he has invested in those areas. He is a self-made multi-millionaire, having started his entrepreneurial journey from a humble beginning in a small business in his teenage years in Murang'a County. He is now the largest is now the largest individual shareholder and state-owned Kenya Power and Lighting Company. So if he says there is no power, then you know what? I said you don't make noise, just listen. And a shareholder in several other companies listed in the Nairobi Stock Exchange. You've not heard him talk about him working here and there. I want this message to go to all our students, that you can make it. That's why I brought it here. NDINDI was born in December 1985. He was born in December 1985. So those of you who think you are old, you should be asking yourself, what have you done in this world? I said again, you don't laugh. He was born in December 1985 in Kadukeini, Murang'a County, from a very humble family background where he received his early education. He later moved to Kenyatta University for his bachelor's degree, where he developed his business acumen and set up his first business enterprise, a restaurant, just selling food. He also began dabbling in stock brokerage. He served also, as we have said earlier, as a student leader while at Kenyatta University. NDINDI is the author of a motivational book, How to Succeed in High School. A book that has mentored and inspired many young people locally and internationally. Honorable NDINDI is clearly destined for greater things. Don't be surprised if you can go for anything, including the highest position in this country. You never know, looking at that kind of history. Ladies and gentlemen, I now want all of you who are here to stand up and applause our chief guest continuously until he comes home. Continue. You have applause. There's no dance for him. Go ahead, go ahead.
Thank you very much. The Vice Chancellor of Kaimosi Friends University, my elder brother, Professor Nandi, our Chair of Council, our Governor, my former colleague, Honorable Wilbur Otichiro, my other elder brother and learned brother, Dr. Gilmose Charles, my other very energetic brother from Emuhaya. Na mnajua yeye vizuri sana. I'll call him by the name you don't know, Honorable Jeremiah. Oboko Miremba. The other guests, our MCAs I've seen are here from Vihiga County Assembly. The executive from Vihiga County Government, the management and other officers and staff from KAFU, and comrades, good afternoon. Comrades power. Comrades power. Asanteni sana. You know, Prof, I think you are lucky that majority of the security team have already left. Because possibly, I would have instituted something against you as the Vice Chancellor of CAFU. Reason being, I have looked at this side of the table or hall, and you have been very unfair to myself and Honorable Jeremiah, my brother Oboko Mine. Because from this right side, we have a professor. On the other side that I said, we have a doctor. On this side of the governor, he is a doctor. Kemose Honorable, he is a doctor. How dare you put two masters within professors and doctors? I think we have to pull up our socks with the Honorable Oboko Milemba so that we also have other esteemed titles, and especially premised by the number of times you have been in a classroom listening, because listening is learning. I have looked at the, thank you very much for the invitation. It is a great honor to come to this great institution. We have gone round, and I can clearly see that CAFU in the few years to come will not only be a great university in Kenya, but a regional and an international institution. So it is a great honor to come here and be a friend of this institution, kwa sababu nimeona mnaenda mbali. Na mkienda mbali hakuna vile mtaniwacha. Tutakuwa na nyinyi pampa. I also want to make a disclaimer as we continue that I didn't come here as an academic. I didn't come here to give you a formal public lecture. Because sometimes we put a lot of formalities in what we do, and then the message and the substance gets lost in the formalities, in the officialness that we put in such a great event we have today. Again, I came here more because I want to talk to the comrades, these brothers and sisters of mine. And therefore, if I go towards them more than the members of staff, I am sure you'll forgive me, because I'm seated next to your employer. So my message more is towards the comrades, and I'm trying to simplify as much as possible. But before I continue, I have seen, you know, I was in KU not very many years ago, and I've seen the chaplain who prayed for you here. Where is Dr. Nyogesa? Please come over here. You know, there is something around working in a university or in a learning institution. Kwa sababu huwa watu hawazeeki. This guy was our chaplain in KU. Na vile alikuwa hata naona amekuwa kijana zaidi. So it looks like in KU, we used to stress him a bit more. Hapa ni kama hampe yeye stress. So asante sana Dr. Nyogesa. The entire my 4 years in KU, he was our chaplain. Thank you very much, because you restricted us from being very bad boys. Probably you already became bad, but not very, very bad. Thank you very much. So I have looked at the title. Kama Kemose na ameenda Harvard, hata yeye hakuwa anakumbuka hii title. Na yeye ni mtu ya Harvard. Let me see, just because I say it's not a very formal thing. One comrade who can come here, don't Google, I know nowadays you are Googling, and give me the theme, the title of today's lecture, the theme. Raise your hand up, I have a gift for you. Any comrade, must be a comrade. Let me get a lady and a man. I am. Which other way we have come? Oh, it's a lady. Please come. Give me a mic. Please come here. Na wewe sasa unasikia chairman wa budget anakuja na unang'ara kuliko yeye.
Thank you very much for this privilege. The theme of today is Kenyan government response to external shocks.
I'm not saying whether he's right or wrong, so let's continue.
The theme of today is Kenyan government response to external shocks.
And you have it copied from me? Alright, let's go ahead. My sister there.
Today's theme is Kenyan government response to the external shocks.
Nani amepata? Wote? So are we allowed to give presents here, Prof? Dauna vile mnaangalia nyinyi makomo. So, lakini hii sio ya budget. It doesn't look very good to give money here, but then they have wamepita mtihani. I know it's not very tidy to do this. Lakini comrade najua hapo iko maneno mzuri. Afadhali lecture ikai hiyo maneno ikai. So kindly you can have your seat. I have tuwapigie makofi. I wanted to establish whether we actually came for the lecture, and I have seen through the representatives who just came that we actually came to listen to this topic that looks very difficult, but it can be simplified. And allow me, Prof, I'll take only 5 minutes on the topic that brought me here, so that then I go to what I want to talk to with the comrades. To one, me coming from Nairobi, I'll talk about that topic slightly, but I will want to talk more from what I feel is important for us in more breadth. And I'll graduate it. I'll talk about the topic slightly later. You know, Prof, when you gave the profile, I was wondering whether there is actually need for another speech. The profile you gave, and thank you very much for that generous profile. I want to say and to talk to these comrades here. And I don't want to use the books that we read from America and the other books from other continents. I want to give you a little brief about myself, and especially around campus life, so that the message goes home. As Professor Nandi has read, mimi ni mtu ya kijiji. When you hear about watu wa mashinani, I am one of those people wa mashinani. Because I went to a village school, like many of you. Ikiwaangalia forehead, I can tell you are like me. So I went to a village primary school, just the normal ones we went to. Then I went to a local secondary school. What happened by me going to a local, then a neighboring secondary school? In our family, we are 4, and the others are sisters. So the other sisters of mine, they are ahead of me, of course, kwa maneno ya masomo. And you know, in our families how we are, just like you people. We come succeeding each other after every 2 years. And therefore, when you are in school, you are all in school. So hakuna wakungojea tu wasome, nyinyi wote mko around the same bracket of being in school. So mimi nikasoma primary. By the time I was doing my primary school, what he has read is actually true. I started my first shop when I was in class 6. And what happened is that my uncle, I was with him yesterday because I was at home. I went to my local church yesterday. So my uncle, by then he was in Nairobi, and he was running a hotel. So he used to come home, na alikuwa na kagana. I have never forgotten even the number of it, KY 216. And he had a public opinion. So to me, he was the embodiment of making it. Because he could come home with a shopping coupon. So, and I rejuvenate our githeri a little bit, so that we could have breaks of githeri and eat now the shopping, or partake of the shopping. So nikiwa tu kijana, I used to look at my uncle kama the embodiment of success. Why? We all want to come to Kaimosi, go out of here, and we also want to get rich, wealthy, and whatever else that comes around that. So mimi nikaambia my mother, mimi sasa nimeona huyu mayangu hakusoma, na sasa ndio sana kwa familia yetu. Nikaambia my mother, hata mimi sisemi sitasoma, lakini naweza soma bado nikitafuta pesa. So I sold my rabbits. Wale mnatoka pahali natoka, unajua wewe you are a young man when you have rabbits. You know that. Na some kuku hapo. So nikauza. Nikakuwa na 500 for. Hiyo pesa nikaenda pahali neighboring place ya my shopping center, I bought stock ya kwanza. So I used to get primary school class 6 boy. Nilikuwa natoka shule, our primary school, I would go to the other shopping center, get the stock, then hapo in our gate, not a gate really, hapo kwa wapitatia next to our home, nikaweka ka kiosk. So nikaanza kuuza. So running my kiosk for some time, of course those two things I realized, when you are young, they don't mix. I don't know why. They should be mixing, but I realized they are not very good friends. Academics and a very young man having money, I realized those two things don't go very well. So there was a teacher from my village. Akaona tangu nianze kupata niko na 300 kwa mfuko, masomo ni kama sisiki. So at the time my father was a carpenter living in Kiadutu in Thika. Kiadutu is a slum in Thika town. And my mother alikuwa hapo Masinani sasa. The same home, Masinani hapo. Of course nyumba ni ile ya watoto. Kama kawaida, ile ya 3 rooms. I see some people who are familiar with those houses. I'm not alone. Ile bedroom this side ya watoto, bedroom ya wazazi, and then sitting area. Na hapo nje kuna kitchen ya mbao with curtains. Curtains that you do not need to see the neighbor who is coming because you can clearly see through the whatever is left through the boughs and the mabatis. So akatai my father akamwambia kijana hako sawa, lakini tangu afukue duka masomo haishiki. So my father told me nihesabu hiyo stock yote, nimwambie ni pesa ngapi. Nikahesabu, akainunua yote, akaniambia maneno ya duka kwanza tuache. Nikaona my father kumbe anataka hata nitajirike zaidi. Because my grandfather, I am named after my grandfather. My grandfather, just the normal subsistence farming, alikuwa na mbuzi. Hiyo mbuzi was famous in our village because ilikuwa inazaa tatu. So nikaona kumbe hii pesa my father amenilipa, I can even become richer and wealthier faster than I saw. Nikaona I'll go buy kabuzi kidogo ya my grandfather, nipe majani mingi ikue haraka, na izae tatu kama hii mama yake. So nikanunua hiyo kabuzi kidogo, na ikaanza hii nikaifeed, but unfortunately I overfed it because I wanted it to grow very fast. So my goat ikakufa. So nikaona hii maneno nikama inanikalia, nikaona nisome. So after kusoma nikaitwa shule. It's a very good school called Kiagogo Boys. So the barua came, my mother saw the letter, we were very happy. But we had not gone to the page ile inaandikwa school fees. Utakwenda hiyo school fees akasema hapa, wacha kwanza tu consult. So my 2 sisters had gone to another school called Jobe High School. It used to be a mixed school then. Nowadays it's a boys' school. And there was a principal called Mr. Buraya, who was a deputy there at Jobe. So because our family, we were a bit very not well off. I'm just avoiding to say we were poor. So my mother would go to that place, my sisters were schooling. Ile tu ya kuambia mwalimu acha wasome kidogo, kuna pesa, kuna ng'ombe nauza haijapata mtu ya kununua. Those 2 stories our parents give in school so that we continue learning when we have these balances. So that deputy was transferred at the school neighboring our home, called St. Paul's. By then it was called Kiabugi Boys. So So when my mother heard that the principal has been transferred to that school called Kiabugi, akaniambia kijana utaenda Kiabugi, kwa yule principal already anajua mashida zangu. So that is how I ended up now going to the school I went to. To cut the long story short, in my high school, and again, I can now say it because I don't think it can be reprimanded now, I used to be those guys who were doing business in high school. Because in my first Form 1, nilianza kushonea watu viatu. I was a cobbler. Kushona viatu literally. So, right from my first year, I mean Form 1, my father passed on when I was in Form 1, being the only boy, I had to be like the father. So I nilikuwa nashona viatu to supplement my mother's school fees. Not necessarily to pay, to supplement ile ya kuambia mwalimu akoje nisome, because fees was never enough. So kashona viatu, nikifunga holiday, I used to go to a town. My home is near the school, but I used to go further, do a shopping, and I used to go home as a student with shopping. Naenda kwa madina shopping, nikiwa mwanafunzi wa high school. So I graduated into running the box kiosk, the one you buy biscuits and you sell around. Then I went further. Our school canteen was run then by clubs. Science club, it ran this man. Drama club, the other man. The other club, the other man. CA, that's the caption, this man. CU, the other man. So, nikaona nitaikia club zote, so that I maximize the time, and I ran for being an official, so that I ran this club almost continuously. So nikaikia science club, nikakuwa chairman. You can clearly see I'm not a comedian like Kemose. Nikaikia drama club. So nilikuwa mtu ya CU. Me, I'm a Protestant from ACK. I was not a very good boy in terms of discipline. So nikaona watu wa CU wananijua. Nikaona niingie kwenye wanijui vizuri, CA ndio nichaguliwe. So that I maximize the time of running the club. So that when I buy that bread, za kuuza, the officials used to also supplement. Because club didn't have enough money to buy enough stock. So we could supplement with ours, of course, to make more money for school fees. From there, kind of university. By the time when nilikuwa natoka secondary, even with all those biasharas, I still had a fees balance of 33,000. So I was called back to be a librarian. Nilikuwa nalipwa nusu, na nusu napewa sasa kama mshahara. So I worked there for 1 year plus, maybe 1 year, a few months, because by then, from high school to university, we could take 1 year and around 8 months to join. So I had enough time to go and work. Fortunately, by God's grace, I'm the only one who made it to university in that school that year. So, nikaenda KU. But before we get KU, you know, our place, and I'm talking to you guys, you know, there's no other speech. I'm already talking the speech. So the one who is grab something, especially you comrades, and especially you men, please. Leo niko na nyinyi. Men, when you leave high school and you come to university, you cannot continue calling your parents to send you money to buy unga to eat. That is how we were, and that is why I came to talk to you. I know you can't clap there, but I'll call the parents and tell them we agree that they don't send money. What am I trying to say? When I left home and went to Nairobi to join KU, I left slightly earlier, went to industrial area, did some vibarua to get some money to pay my first semester fees, so that even when help delays, I'm sorted. So I joined campus, nikafanya pia nikaanza masomo hapo, tunaingiaga September. Sasa ni KU. When mnajua KU, you know KM. Yes. There's a ghetto called KM. It used to be a ghetto, but now it's an estate. KM around KU. I hope Dr. Nyokesa now you cannot report me back to KU. So when I joined KU, of course, there was no one to give you school fees. You sort yourself. You've been admitted to campus. Your parents took you up to Form 4, Shauriana. So I went to do some vibaruas, got some money, paid the first semester. So the help came. I cleared my first year's fee. It wasn't much then, because the whole help would pay the school fees and I had to kitu kidogo hapo. So I had 2 goals early on. 2 goals. This time I was a librarian. I used to read a lot, and I had something in my mind. I was praying, by the way, that I want to get wealthy, and if possible, get some power. I don't know how, because the family I came from, those 2 things were very foreign. But I just had this ambition that I want the trajectory to change. And I knew for me to make money, I had to be in business. So even in campus, the Kaida KM, as a first year, after paying the help, ile pesa ilibaki, I went to KM, started a hotel, and I called it Vatican Cave. So how it happened is that my help was not enough, because I had paid my school fees to supplement the kibarua. So I went to a friend of mine called Wamwele. We were in the same year. Nikamkopa ile help yake. Ikakuwa now a large capital for my hotel. And one time, because that was around second semester in my first year, mnajua hii mwezi tuko sasa ya Feb. Our second semester was coming in Feb, because we were reporting school as first years in September. So September, October, November was first sem, and December. So we were reporting now in January in second semester. So this second semester is the one I borrowed Wamwele the money for his help and my help. Nikaunganisha na nikaambia Wamwele, even after kunikopesha pesa, kuna kitu utanisaidia. So I told Wamwele I was now setting up the hotel. You know, si hotel ile mnafikiria, I mean a shanty ya mabati na viti ya kukalia ni ile kafomu. Kama ndio mnaelewa kwa nini mnakula nini lunch. So ni hiyo hotel kama hiyo sasa. So I used to do the painting myself. So I used to go paint, you know, kazi yenyewe ya mimi kujenga viti and everything. And I said I will not talk Kizungu leo. Naongea na nyinyi ile lugha mnaongea, because I came to communicate, not to give a lecture. So nakifanya painting hapo na niko na class. You know, it was many things. I combined many things that I go. I had a class that second semester. I vied to be a student leader the same semester, and I was starting a hotel the same semester. Those 3 things. So I used to paint, rangi na mwagika kwa t-shirt. On my way to class, I meet my classmates, and especially ladies. Please, ladies, give us a break. Then the ladies would ask me, hey, you know that accent. What's up? Yeah, that one now. What's up with the sijui rangi kwa t-shirt? Then nawaambia hapana, nimetoka kusupervise mjengo ya my father, inaendelea pahali hapa. Kumbe it was my hotel. So to cut the long story short, tuko February second semester, ka hotel nimeset up, kitu haina ni sufuria na utensils. So the same Wamwele, I told him nipeleke pale Gikomba somewhere. Wanauza sufuria. So we went to Nairobi city with Wamwele. And not to us, we were village boys. Completely. It's those guys who came to Nairobi. We actually knew Nairobi when we were reporting for university. So I told Wamwele nipeleke Gikomba, we bought sufurias. But kufika Nairobi, we were wondering with Wamwele, kwani hii Nairobi siku hizi iko na uniform? Because ladies were in red, men were in black and maybe a red tie. So tukaanza kuulizana na Wamwele, kwani siku hizi Nairobi iko na uniform? So we went to Gikomba. Sisi hatujui nini inaendelea. Tununua masufuria, tukawekelea. Tukachukua matatu mpaka town. Then Wamwele kufika town akaniambia, kabla tuende stage ya KU, tupite pahali inaitwa Lodori Avenue, there is a lady, his girlfriend, we go say hi to her. I first wonder, yani jamaa kuna girlfriend? For me that was already too much. I mean high class, we got a girlfriend from here. So we went with Wamwele. So the girl was, alikuwa anauza phone accessories. So tuko na masufuria yetu. How are you? nikaona msichana anajivalia hatu wa mwele. Because unajua vile saa ingine tuna beat kama comrades. Unajaribu kumatch kuo, they don't match. Kiatu umepiga iko na vumbi everywhere. So the girl looked, you know the way you talk to a person, they really don't want to engage you. So ikakuwa hapo kukorogana kidogo hivyo, tukamalizana tukaenda. So when we went back to KU, the girl later told Wamwele, wewe, you always tell me you are a university student studying economics. Economics gani hiyo mnasoma na sufuria? Wamwele was dumped. We later came to realize this day we thought Nairobi iko na uniform was actually Valentine's Day. Instead of Wamwele taking flowers, he went to take sufuria. So the same year, I applied to be a student leader, a congress person. I didn't make it. So the wrong holiday, I decided I was not going to Sharks. So the same uncle gave me a house somewhere in Langata. And I went around, I got an internship, an unpaid internship in the Ministry of Trade. So nikiwa hiyo internship nikaona, since I didn't have fare, I didn't have lunch, I decided to go to my former MP called Keynote. To go, nimwambie mimi ni kiongozi ya youth. So that nikimwambia mimi ni kiongozi ya youth, ajue vile atafanya sasa kwa kiongozi. So I went there carrying a CV one day. Simanatoka kiatu inaitwa Sahara. Sahara ni ile kiatu hiyo Sahara. Iko na sole ya whitish, lakini kiatu yenyewe ni black ama brown. So nikajua ni kumatch hiyo siku naenda kwa mheshimiwa. We were village boys to give us. So nikavaa a black trouser and to match well nikavaa na of course belt was one, so the same belt black and then a black shirt. So I thought that is matching. And of course, like comrades, you always carry envelopes with a CV inside. So I went. I was not going to look for a job. I was going. Nipewa appointment na mheshimiwa. Nikiingia nimwambia mimi ukitaka kura ya yote ya university, mheshimiwa niko hapa. So I went, and fortunately he was in a meeting. So I did, the secretary akaniangalia, and because I had an envelope, the secretary told me, you can leave your CV here. Kama ni kazi unatafuta, nitapea mheshimiwa. Me, I wasn't going there to look for a job. But because amesema, nikaacha CV. So what a CV after 2 days, I get a call. How are you, young man? Yes, sir. My name is Honorable Kenya Kariuki. Yes, sir. You came here to request for a job? Of course, yes. When can you come? Now. So I went. So kwenda akaniuliza, kijana unaitwa nani nini, nikamweleza maneno yote. By the time una run to be a student leader, you already a kamjuaji somehow. So hiyo kamjuaji ilinisaidia. Nikaenda, nikamwambia nini hapo. Then akaniuliza, when will you start working? Today, mheshimiwa. So alinipea kazi nikaanza hiyo siku. In my long vacation now. In a long vacation was I think how many months. So I worked vile tulifungua KU. Now I started now working and going to school. Of course I could time gari ya gidora ile ya mapema so that I pay less fare and of course ya narudi usiku. Now because I was going to work very early. I was not going to work very early because of work. I was going very early because I wanted to cut fare. You know, very early off you pay less fare. Then I could wait in the office very late, so that I also pay less fare. That in the company was construed as being a very hardworking young man. So that December, I was given the present of the employee of the year. As a first year going out, I was already a second year. So second year I was elected and I became the academic secretary in KU. And my side endelea. Now, my graduation came. You know, my mother is very prayerful. Like most of your parents, they pray for you. So I called them. And by the way, the entire time I was in KU, only my sister came to visit once. And when she came to visit, there is a friend of mine called Jemo. We actually talked today as I came. We have been friends since then. So my sister was then working, came to visit us. I'm doing some parchments. Utashika ile point mtu atashika. So my sister came visiting sometime. I was in a hostel called Kilimabo, and she brought us half kg of meat with JMO. Nyama nusu kilogram. Now tukaona hii hesabu ya pesa, nyama ni pesa ngapi na sukuma ni pesa ngapi. Tuliuza hiyo nyama. Because we think about now, hii nyama ni sukuma ya pilipili. Hii nyama tukauza. So let me go back to the graduation. That one I had forgotten. So graduation came. When graduation came, my mother came with, of course, the friends. And it's the joy of every parent. My son works with Barclays Bank. My son works with Equity Bank. My son works with Safaricom. You know our parents wanapenda hiyo maneno. So mimi walikuja graduation. I hosted them in a place called KUCC. It is within KU for lunch. Just a few. Then when my time came to speak, I told my mother, I know you are very prayer for my mother. Please pray for me not to get a job. That is it. Please pray for me not to get a job. Why? Yes, I was struggling, but I had done my math. If I get a job, I'll never be wealthy. So nikasema wacha ning'ang'ane. Me, I want to be a business person. I want to be an entrepreneur. So my mother was very heartbroken. Aliniambia hivyo baadaye. She came with friends so that I tell them I want to be working in one bank and wherever other place. I'm here telling them I don't want a job. So I started my businesses there, and up to now, since I graduated, kazi ya kuuliza interview, I have never looked for a job. Actually, that is the message that brought me here. It is not this other view. The message that brought me here is for you comrades. We have aspirations, we have dreams. Part of the dreams we have, and we will demonstrate now, in a show of hands. Can somebody tell me in the next 7 years, after you've graduated, the kind of car you want to be driving? Just with that. Kuja bro. Those who are big, hakuna pesa this time. The estate, those of you who will go to Nairobi, let's use Nairobi because you know Nairobi better. We use Nairobi as the base. The estate in Nairobi, you won't be living. Kono ingine, come here my brother. Yes. You're with the new shirt. Your shirt ni mzee, yule yako. Yeah, you. Yeah. Now, I want us to demonstrate in a few minutes. I want to talk in the next 10 minutes. Malize, without maswali, so that we proceed. And I will... Okay, somebody else to do math for us. You have a phone here. You look like you have a smartphone. Then come here. Yani, hapa kapu, students who got a smartphone, iko kama ya vice chancellor. So, which kind of vehicle in the next 7 years? How old are you now? Use the mic.
I'm 22 right now.
So you'll be, let's say that in the next 8 years, what kind of vehicle do you want to be driving?
Mercedes G-Wagon.
Sasa hiyo hata kimoja hana unataka kufanya. Tell me right here, my comrade. Tell me right there. Can you estimate how much it costs? Somebody to estimate how much that kind of... Which vehicle do you want to be driving?
Lexus.
Lexus ile five. Hey, sasa yeye. Sasa wakati hii hata sijui. So hata tutumie hii. Lexus yenye ni mzee, imetumiwa huko Baju. Ni kama pesa ngapi? Anyone with an idea?
24 million.
It's not Lexus of 4 million.
24 million.
We are talking about 15 million. So write 15 million. But for simplicity, that's like 10. Only 10 million. Just 10. My brother, which estate ukitaka kukaa Nairobi by the time you are that two there about?
By the time I'm 32, napenda kwa Karen.
Karen, very good. Karen, a plot of land a half. You can't divide land more than a half acre in Karen. And the least you get, that half. The least. Anyone has an idea? Let's say plot peke yake 30 million. Pick that. Aya. Which holiday destination would you want to be going unaenda huko by the time you are that? Barbados. Very good. Now, let's use the vehicle and the land first. How much money is that, my brother? 30 plus 10. How much is that? 40. Let's say you don't even go to Lexus. Let's come to 5 million only. Utaanza Prado mzee kabisa. 5 million. And let's assume this plot, kabla upite Karen, pitia pahali ingine. Yenye ploti sio 30, ploti tuseme ni 15. Hiyo, weka 15. So we have 20 million. You need 20 million shillings. By the time you are graduating, how old are you going to be? You'll be graduating at 23. Let's assume you get a job at 24. And in order to just get a job, you get a good job. Paying 150,000. We are assuming umetoka hapa ukafanya branch manager. Papa. That's the assumption we are making. Which is also not a very good assumption to make. Because you know how possible or impossible it is. Now, 25 million. 25 million. This guy is 25. I'll be training sometimes so that you know I went to school. So 25, and you are at 25, and you want to raise 25 million by the time you are 32. Because by 32, you want to be having a plot and a caprando. So this 24 million, let's assume umepata kazi immediate as a fresh graduate of 150,000. Meaning take home is around 150,000. Take home ni kusema tax kumeondoa, NSSF na ile maneno mengine. So 120,000, do for me the math, my brother. 120,000 per month. How much is that in a year? Please tell me there. Tell me somebody. Somebody have an idea. 1.44 M.
Yes.
Per what?
Per year.
Per year.
Yeah.
Now, divide that 25 million, divide by 1.44.
We divide 18 years.
That's 25 million we had there.
18 years.
Divide now by 1.44. How long is it? 18 years. So my brother, please add 25 plus 18. Please add.
43 years.
So my brother, you'll be 43 by the time you already have gotten a high-paid job. You'll be 43 by the time you have a Prado and a plot not in Karen, as you go to Karen. And that plot will not be having a house. So you'll be sleeping in that Prado in your plot. So, gentlemen, if you forget any other day, that is what I came here for. Kenya is not going to develop by us as people who come here to learn. Only learning because we want to work in companies that we are not even sure who started them. We have come here to Kafu to study because we want to be business creators, entrepreneurs, and wealthy people. And the future about business is that you can do business in any sector. Those who are in IT, you can do business in IT. Those who are in medical, you can do business within the same field. Those who are in architecture, you can do architecture within your field as a business person. So I came here to tell you that you must now stop lamenting there are no jobs. The reason why your parents brought you here and the school administration is putting up the kind of resources they are putting up is because they want to model you to be a person who can be wealthy. And the person who can be wealthy in the next 7 years will not be wealthy by looking for a job. It is by employing others. Now, I read a lot. And I want to interest you in reading a magazine called Forbes. You can read it actually online. Forbes. Every year they put up a list of billionaires, the people who are the wealthiest in in the world. This year, the richest they put is called Bernard. He's a friend of mine in cosmetics. It's a company called Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy. He has many brands of luxury goods. He's the richest person. Number 2 is called Elon Musk. He's actually a South African-born American. You know Tesla Motors. That is the mind. Within that list, not in that order, of course there is the Facebook founder, there is the Oracle founder, there is the other people there. If you put the entire list up to 1,000, all those people are people who create wealth out of entrepreneurship. I don't need to buttress that point. I just need you to know that I came to challenge you that for you to live the kind of life you are aspiring, you will not live that life while still aiming to graduate and go look for a job in another person's company. What am I challenging you to do so that I finish? And these are my experiences, the things I have seen and practiced. Beyond the school that you come here to study, the school, academics, something I have seen that is much more important is something called emotional intelligence. You study here, get degrees, and now allow me to speak even for job seekers, because maybe not all of us will also use the other first topic that I have. When you all come to CAFU, you get first class, you get second upper, and to enrich you have a CPA. There is another guy in KU have the same, another one in UON, they have the same. You come to an interview panel. By the time you are called for an interview, you are already qualified paper-wise. In regards to what can be read about you, you are already qualified by the time you are called for an interview. But then when you go to that interview, my brother, they want to hire 3 people, you get yourself there as 120. Then which is this criteria that will be used from the 120 to determine that you are the best? Yet all the people there are qualified by virtue of being called for an interview. As you come through CAFU, please let your papers be commensurate to the person you end up becoming. Sometimes you see a person with very beautiful papers, but when you look at the people themselves, they do not match what they place on the table. Emotional intelligence, I am looking at it widely. Develop yourself as a person. And when you develop yourself as a person, have in mind what you want to become. What do you want to become so that then, as you come through CAFU, you are modeling yourself towards whatever you are aiming. If you want to be a professor, one of the issues around emotional intelligence and making yourself a better person is number 1, element of having a mentor. I'm combining that mentorship and emotional intelligence so that I don't spend much time. When you model yourself around this professor, how do they behave? How are they at my age? What are the requisites that are required for being this kind of a professor? If you want to be a news anchor, if you want to be a politician, if you want to be a doctor, how do they carry themselves? Identify a few you can model yourself around. That is mentorship. Many people in the world, including myself, you step on the shoulders of giants. Then I cut the long story short. That former MP of ours, Kenya Karaoke, ended up becoming my mentor. I ended up learning about business through him and learning about politics through him. Our current governor, Iroko Kangata, has been my friend even before I joined politics. I'm just trying to show you there is something that happens when you associate with people. You end up becoming more or less like them. That is one about mentorship. The other side of emotional intelligence. As you model yourself out there, You can't model yourself if you don't know yourself. You need to call yourself for an ATM, my friend, and continuously call yourself for a personal ATM with notes, a secretary, a chairman, all rounded up in one, you yourself. Take notes, who am I? What are my strengths as a person? You write them down, don't assume. Then you write, what are my weaknesses? For example, you want to become a politician. A group discussion, you cannot read of 5 people. Start there. Start by realizing, I can't actually face 10 people and speak before them. What do? I start by volunteering in CU. Number 1, I start by reading. Something matagazo kwa CU, nasoma kitu written. I graduate to reading and thinking. Later on, I graduate to actually speaking without reading something. You develop now that weakness into becoming your strength. What are the opportunities you have? You write them down. What are the threats you have? You write them down. On that issue also, I want you to know one thing. Beyond the akili, what we come here to study, something else that is very far-reaching into being who you end up becoming is your emotions. Sometimes our emotions overwhelm even our brain. So that then we cannot harness our emotions. You don't know how to carry yourself. You don't know what to say where. Start by knowing yourself. Develop yourself gradually. By knowing, maybe I'm very hot-tempered. And because I am not cast on stone, that I have to remain this way, then what can I do to make myself better in that regard? So that then you learn your emotions, understand yourself, then understand the other people you deal with. So that by the time you are going for an interview, you know yourself too well. You know how to conduct yourself around different environments too well, and therefore, virtually what reflects on the papers, you actually supersede them when you appear in person. I have cut a very long topic into very few sentences. But I want you to go because you have phones, you have internet. I want you to develop yourself around emotional intelligence. Develop yourself around other things that you don't study in classroom. So that holistically, you come out of this place careful, being a person who has been through a factory, you are coming out there as a finished product, not as a raw product with a label, which is your degree. That degree certificate must not be a label placed upon you, your forehead. You have to be that person who is appearing there, or even a better person. I also want you to, I would have given you a more technical topic, because if we had time for questions you ask me, then you are telling us about business. Why is capital? Capital iko wapi? The biggest capital you have as a business person is actually the idea you have. You have heard about something called Silicon Valley in the US. Silicon Valley was born out of an idea as a policy called STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, which was a policy in the US. The proximity between Silicon Valley and Stanford University is because the people who are going mostly under scholarships in Stanford were dropping off, and they formed now the Silicon Valley. There is another connection between Silicon Valley and something called Wall Street. You must have heard something called private equity. Another one called venture capital. These are people who actually just need a person with a bright idea to provide solutions. They have enough money to give you idea. And they don't ask you for money as a debt, or they don't give you the money as a debt. You give them a slight proportion of your idea in terms of a business, what is called equity. They come with their money, then you actualize that idea to become a business. So the point I'm trying to drive home, Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, when they were starting PayPal, the Twitter people, they didn't have money when they were starting these companies. They had bright ideas. Those bright ideas attract the now people with money who want a bright person like the one going through capital today. And therefore, capital, before you ask about money, the real capital is the idea. I think time is up. So the other topic that was listed here, I'll come another day to present it. Because I didn't want to give a very technical topic, and I wanted to give something relevant, especially to students. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Applause, okay? All of you, I want you to clap until I stop you from clapping. Can you start? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We want to take this opportunity once more to thank our chief guest for the speech that he has given. Thank you very much for listening. There's something that he has promised. He has promised he will be part and parcel of CAF. He has promised he will come again and give another speech. He has also wished to be part and parcel of this university. So Dr. Ouma, the Dean of the School of Business, we are here. When you are doing your program, Mheshimiwa is willing to pursue a program, PhD from the School of Business and Economics. So go ahead and register. Then you will end up being an alumni of this university. He's willing to give you more information. So I want to hand over to Professor Julius Mkeboy, my able deputy. Professor Mamadalo is not here, he's in Nairobi. So my deputy is here, Professor Julius Mkeboy, a small session. There are issues he has raised, very practical, a very humble background. Colleagues who are here, those of you who are working in CAF, how many times have I told you, it's not about working in CAF. Many of you want to get a job here. It's not about working in CAF. It's not about getting a job. It's about being a job creator. And I kept on, I've talked about somebody who works here. He's grade 2. I don't know if Awiyanga is here, but he has hostels. He has something that he's doing. It's not about getting a job. It's not about titles. But it's about what you are doing with yourself. Are you able to do something? So this was a practical lesson. And the students who are here is Mheshimiwa, our guest. He has given you an example of his life. The best example ever in his life. You graduate and you ask for one prayer. You don't want to get employment opportunity. I don't think any one of you will ask for that kind of, go for that kind of prayer. He went for it, and here he is. He has raised those issues. If you listen and take seriously the lecture that he has given us today, your life will never be the same. There's something that you can do for yourself. So we want to thank you once more, and I want to request a session, I think the session for questions and answers. Professor Julius Mkeboy, you can take it.
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa. And thank you for also indicating to us that you come again. If you don't mind, come back again. I would also say, if you don't mind, let's be the ones to give you more powers to read and to do what applies to economics. If you don't mind, please come again and talk to us. And there is a book you have written, How to Succeed in High School. Can you write another one, How to Succeed in University? Because we really appreciate it. And lastly, if you don't mind, we can ask you a few questions, because your talk has really been encouraging. And I don't know how you read, but most of us came from similar background with you, and I'm one of them. So I want to request, as I say, we are at your service today. With me, I have the Director, Graduate Studies. Again, we'll bring you an application letter so that you enroll in our institution. Next time the VC will come to Nairobi, we'll send him with the application letter. I have with me the Director, And I have with me the Dean, School of Economics and Business. I would like to coordinate this session of question-answer. It will be very brief. 5 minutes. Over to you, Director.
Thank you, our chief guest. All protocols observed. My name is Dr. Remy Shiudu, Director of Graduate Studies. I will lead the session for question and answer. I just want to comment that this is a motivational personal story with a futuristic national significance. The guest has already said that his talk is tailored for students, so I expect that students will be the majority in asking questions. So, if you have a question, please raise your hand. And Dr. Uma, please get the mic to the.
Good afternoon, Mheshimiwa. All protocols duly observed. My name is Emmanuel Kenyan Vincent, and by the stroke of luck, I am the Dean, School of Health Sciences, the niche of this university, such a privileged position. I came here to listen to budgeting, even though I have a background in management, health management. But I got something far better than budgeting that I wish it was boldly written that that's what we are getting. Some of us would have been more prepared. Thank you for those words, because I resonate very, very well with the lecture you've given. I share similar background. In fact, my background is worse because I was born by a father who was a Kuteli pusher. And today, all the way from Nigeria, I'm privileged to be in a top position in a public university in Kenya.
I want a question, direct questions. So that
my question is this. Is it possible, because some of the comrades here who listen to you, the biggest challenge they have is the aspect of the doing. Employment, I was talking to my colleague that you've rounded up a 1,000-page book in few seconds. That's all about entrepreneurship. Employment is good, but people should know that employment should be a security for you to be an entrepreneur. Is it possible to create, as you live here, an idea hunt whereby people can have an opportunity to have their ideas presented, and then those ideas can be harvested, an opportunity for them to be able to leverage on those ideas. The biggest challenge we have here is, like in America, you have an idea, you have an opportunity to practice your idea. We don't have those opportunities. People think everything's all about money, but what they need is somebody to create an environment to place your idea. Can we begin such a movement?
Very good. Yeah. Let me give further guidance. Just one question, and it should not be a 20 question because I'm slow. Right? So we want a gentleman, a student, and another student, a lady. From that side, I would want to come here for one question. Perhaps then the guest can answer, and then we go to another round. Okay?
Good afternoon, comrades and Honorable NDINDI. My name is Kani Debo. I do bachelor. I do Bachelor of Science in Mathematics with IT and CPA. So I was asking, can I use my tactics like programming and being a math major to be an entrepreneur, because I'm still an entrepreneur. I sell
Jugu in NYORO, Nakuru County, NYORO, Nakuru Town West and East. So can I be an entrepreneur in by my tactics, CPA and mathematics with IT? Yeah.
Okay, thank you. After your question, we want a lady from this section, and then you will take 30 seconds to ask that question. Okay, thank you. I'm Elisha Odhiambo, a student of Education Arts Math Business, and based on the post that Mheshimiwa is holding, I will have one question. In support of the higher education, for the needy students to access the education, we have some multiple supplier institutions that support students. So just to mention some of these institutions, we have the CDF, we have the ministry scholarships, we have the NGOs, we also have this. Ask your question. Okay, so the question is that for the allocation of some of these funds, like for the help money, they always delay. Like the corporates, even the Honorable himself, helped them a lot in KU. So sometimes it becomes a challenge for corporates to come to school on the opening dates because of delay. So what are some of what are his views concerning or what are some of the measures he has put in place so that the intended purpose for these institutions to be realized? Thank you. Okay, Dr. Uma, I want a lady. A lady from this section. That is a chance for a lady.
My name is Eunice Wawin. I am a third-year student taking a Bachelor in Commerce, Finance option, and my question is based on this. In this academic year, public universities require at about 84.5 billion to run smoothly, but it has come to the notice that only 43.9 billion have been assigned to the public universities, leading to a shortage of at around 40.9 billion. So the question based on that is on the cost of supply of education. Is it possible that this shortage has come due to the tariffs that has been placed by the government on the resources that universities require, that is water, electricity, books, and equipment? And that is my first question. My second question is on tax rebates, introduction of tax rebates. The government has introduced tax rebates, so has the cost of education supply, has it come short because of the tax rebates introduced by the government? Thank you.
Thank you. Pass the mic this way, please. Pass the mic this way. We would want the last question from here. If I get a lady, that one will have an added advantage for balance. Some lady here. There is no lady, then the gentleman will get it.
Okay, all the protocols are. Okay, all the protocols are. I want to take example opportunity to thank our chief guests for coming to us, because you have saved us all like me. I was planning to start a business and I was still wondering where to get capital, all those things, but you're saving. Thank you, Your Excellency. So my question is, not actual ambition. Many of our students, they are forced to defer their studies because of the delay from the health board. This is because it is from the delay from the national government that you delay to disperse money that is meant for the students to enable them to continue with their studies. So like a number of our students, our fellow comrades, have been forced to defer their studies due to that issue. So I don't understand who is delaying the money. Since you are the chairman of the budget, you should clearly come out and tell us who is it. Okay. Lastly, I stand corrected. Allow me, Your Excellency, to come and greet you.
Dr. Fozia.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dr. Fozia from the School of Business and Economics, and welcome Honorable NDINDI to Kaimosti, the only university in the rainforest. My question basically comes from the issue of entrepreneurship. Now, most of the universities are tasked to do research, and this research is rarely commercialized, which will be an advantage to Kenya as a whole, and the work in ensuring that we achieve the the SDG goals among all the others that are there. But this research is being affected by funding in research and extension research. And on top of that, as much as the students would like these entrepreneurial activities, universities could develop business incubation centers as an area to actually filter the viable ideas and then their funding. But because of lack of funds and lack of support in that area, it is more of a white elephant story. So what are we going to do into that particular angle to ensure that these viable ideas and these viable research outputs are actually commercialized for the benefit of the common wananchi? Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen here who has taken us a few guests introducing some.
Okay, I'm sorry, Excellency, I need to introduce myself. I'm Joseph Mwangi, a student in social science. I'm taking criminology. You are my idol.
Very good. I think we can have the guests now respond to those questions.
Thank you very much. I'll try to be precise because of time. Thank you very much, Professor Kikeboy, for the sentiments you gave. And there are many things I learned because of time. That book called How to Succeed in High School, or titled How to Succeed in High School, I actually authored and published that book when I was a second-year student at the university. And I hope I'm communicating to the comrades. But the time you have here is 2 months. You can do much more than class 1. And I have taken the challenge of having other titles, and especially focusing on those in the tertiary institutions. Dr. Emmanuel, thank you very much. Coming all the way from Nigeria to Kenya, being where you are is no mean feat. And the issue of funding ideas, I think, is the same question with the Dr. Fozia. Ideas, I can guarantee you, when you have a great refined idea, you will never have shortage of people who would want to be associated with that idea. Unfortunately, what I've seen, and I'm saying that because I myself have done a business within venture capital and private equity. And I used to invest in ideas. By that time, I had a lot of time before joining politics. And I realized there are so many businesses. One person came with an idea within the dairy sector. We started off a business in value addition of milk. We couldn't satisfy the demand. The only point that we failed is that slightly thereabout I joined politics, and therefore I couldn't concentrate a lot in business. So what am I trying to, the point I'm trying to pass across, the ideas you may have in terms of business, what they may require is not to be alone. You only need a person with their own money to put in something very little, and you can be able to commercialize that idea. Ideas, especially around tech, the biggest capital is brain and a computer. Therefore, the excuse of having real money, fiat money in terms of capital, for me that is depreciating every day. And other forms of capital, and especially capital in terms of imagination, capital in ingenuity, capital in brain, capital in creativity, is overlapping and actually going ahead of the traditional capital of money. Brian Kanye, mathematics with IT. So Brian is wondering, I'm doing mathematics and with IT. How can this now become a business, really? If I go the question, that is the predicament. You are actually taking the best course in this particular era. If you go on the Forbes list that I tried to mention, you realize the sectors that dominate that sector is just a few people in very high margin products, which is luxury. Majority are actually in IT. And another one, manufacturing is now leapfrogging, and finance is there in between. Therefore, the business sector with the highest margin, where you can create a lot of value, is actually in programming, as you are doing. And I would want to tell you, Kanye, there is a person like you in Buranga University, a young man. He came to our office. The system we are currently using, if you go to and check KRO CDF, that system has actually been developed by a university student from Buranga University. And it's much more complex. And out of that, today I referred another MP to that young man. And I did refer to him to give voluntary service. It is to make money. And you realize that I'm trying to say, that young man does not require any money to make that product. They just require their brain and a computer, which largely you may be having. But I'll be on Hero. And I'll attach that with a question with the Eunice Wawele. I have realized majority of you came prepared about the other topic. And it's good that I also spend maybe 2-3 minutes so that I do not disadvantage the majority who came prepared for that particular topic. Only that I thought it is too theoretical, especially for a student, but it's good also to give some insights. The Kenyan budget, let me refer to this current year, even before the supplementary budget. We have a budget of 3.3 trillion Kenyan shillings. Kenyan budget, a national budget, is basically like any other budget, like a university budget, like a personal budget. This 3.3 trillion Kenyan shillings, when you put it in this basket, it is the same basket that should feed the expenditure. So the budget has two sides, the supply side of money and the demand side of money. Which is the supply side of money, which supplies to the basket? Number one is ordinary revenue, called taxes. In Kenya, that is around 2.14 trillion Kenyan shillings. Number two in that basket is something we call A in A, appropriations in A, where you pay fee to a university, university is government institution, this money you pay directly to a university, and they spend here at source. That is what we call A in A, appropriations in A. You are spending this money where you collected, and therefore it is part of the budget because it forms part of the expenditure of the institution and also part of the revenue. That is around 300 billion Kenya shillings in Kenya. The other one is grants, which is around 33 billion. Grants ni watu wanataka kusaidia sisi, wanatuletea pesa. And the other one is deficit. After you now put all those, when you tell us now, or like we tell you what we want to spend, you realize that there is a mismatch between the money coming in and the money coming out. So allow me first of all to jump the deficit so that you see where it is coming in. So what is the revenues? I've enumerated ordinary revenue, that is taxes, 2.1 trillion, A, 300 billion, grants, around 33 billion. That in total comes to around 2.5 trillion. But we want to spend how much? Salaries in government, including this university, is around 800 to 900 billion. There is another component called recurrent non-salary. The vice chancellor will need to go out, sometimes spend out representing the university. You are going for other co-curricular activities and institutions. That money you spend is recurrent and revenue. Recurrent and salary, which is around 600 billion. The other one is the money we sent to Dr. Otichiro and all the other governors, which is around 370 billion, which is now that money that comes to our counties. I'm talking very fast because I'm seeing time is bad. The other one is something we call CFS. When we collect money, there is money we had borrowed. We need to pay the interest. We need to pay the principal. There is money we pay for pensions to our parents who used to pay to work in government. That is usually actually the first charge in government. We pay our debts. Pension is a debt. We also now pay commissions. They are also part of CFS because we want commissions to be independent. Their monies are released early. So if you do that side that I've given, 900 billion plus 600 recurrent and salary, you want counted 370 billion, you want CFS around 870 billion, there now you see 3.3 trillion. And the other side I've given, it was 2.5 trillion in terms of revenue. If you minus 3.3 and 2.5, you see there is around 800 billion that is hanging. That is the money we call deficit, which we usually borrow. So when we are budgeting, that deficit is usually money we are anticipating to borrow. So what is the issue with the help? The issue with the help, I will talk about with this particular administration of our President, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto. We have decided that if we continue borrowing the way we are borrowing as a nation, all the issues we talked about entrepreneurship, about you getting jobs, will become a mirage because our economy will be destroyed almost permanently. Will become like countries like Ghana currently, which of a borrowed money, they are in crisis. So we decided we must quit to live within our means. What we are trying to do then, and I'm answering all those questions together, is to increase our revenues. Why? Economies like that look like Kenya, mid-level economies. Our country, Kenya, currently is collecting money which is around 14 to 16% of our GDP. Our GDP is 14 trillion. The money we collect as ordinary revenue is only 14 to 16%. Countries that are like us, mid-level economies, they collect around 20 to 25%. So if you collect 25% of our GDP, that becomes 3.5 trillion. And therefore, you may not actually need to borrow to fund the budget. If our country now, we are able to collect the revenues, just the way South Africa collects, at 28.6%, will be collecting revenues of 4 trillion Kenya shillings. What does that mean? We will actually be operating on a surplus budget. We'll be funding our entire budget, our entire development, paying all the salaries, paying all the vehicles, including our modern library, without borrowing a cent. So that is what His Excellency the President is doing, encouraging our economy to grow, to be able to collect revenues from people who are able, not squeezing the already paid, not increasing pay to the people who are employed. It is increasing people who would rather be paid pay. It is not overtaxing that business person. It is making sure there is a multiplicity of more business persons so that we have a wider bracket to collect revenues. So, health, the number one root cause has been revenues which are decimated. And believe you me, in a year or so, we'll be able to turn around the economy to be collecting money and remit to institutions promptly. The number two issue about health may not necessarily be budget. It could be what we call exchequer. Government operates just the way we operate. When you have a salary you are paid, you have an ATM. The money you got to remove from your ATM is the same way the government operates. It gives money that is there. When money is no longer there, even if you go to this ATM I saw here at Kafu, a comrade deferring is a tragedy, because that is a future human capital in Kenya that is becoming less productive. When you come to school and you get schooled, you become more productive because you are able to handle a more sophisticated engagement, and that is what we want to do as a nation. Lastly, on that topic of what you came to listen to, the reason why we are refusing to borrow a lot of money is because, you know,